So hi, well, the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
Jan from Breathe Atlantis.
And we're gonna ask him some questions today about their upcoming album, Overdrive. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Thank you. We're so overwhelmed with our response till yet. We never expected to have such international response, to be honest, since we're just a small German band, local band, or yeah, let's call it like that. And it's so crazy to see how many people react to the videos and to the songs we already did as singles from our new album, Overdrive. And yeah, it's nice to see, and it feels good. It's an awesome journey.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Listened to the album earlier today, and it's so good. It is very good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, it is totally. It's a longer story behind the title, Overdrive. We choose this title, I think, like 1.5 years ago when we started the album cycle or the album writing cycle. And we had that idea or vision of a state of mind where we're in when two things inside of your brain fight against each other, when you have, some kind of mental problems, or let's say like in the state of depression, and the one part of your brain wants to help you out, and the other part wants to drag you down, and that fight with each other, we call it overdrive, the state of overdrive. For every person in our band, we talked a lot about this stuff, about mental health issues lately, since the pandemic hit, and since boys do not, or men do not speak so openly about it, it was very difficult to speak in the band about, mental health problems. And but it was quite good to speak about everything. And yeah, we came up with that because every person has their own overdrive. It's not the same thing for everyone. For me, it's a different thing than or for a singer or for another person, and it could be something like an identity crisis, of course, when you have problems to orientate yourself within this crazy world we're living right now, and the one person inside you wants to pull the trigger and the other wants to help you out. And yeah, that's what we call overdrive. And we found that fascinating, that theme. And every track on that album kind of surrounds that topic. It's not everything about that one theme, and it's not a concept album, but every song has to do something with that message or with that idea, kind of. Yeah, that's how we choose Overdrive. And with that album artwork, we started with each single. We did different artwork covers. Our bassist Lasse did them, and it was we wanted to try something. Let's call it artsy or like very diffuse. It shouldn't show some specific thing, as it should show how the brain works. It's not something specific you can really pick out. What that should show what the overdrive is all about. You can't really name something. It's very diffuse, and we just had the idea that, like our brain, there are so many layers, in our personality, in our thinking, and on the album covers you see many layers over each other, in different color shapes and stuff, and it should show on the one side all the cover singles. You can't see that directly, but it's very diffuse in there. And on the other hand, all the different layers and elements of our brain and of thinking, how we trick ourselves into problems, sometimes into mental health issues. So yeah, that's the basic idea of Overdrive.
Wow,
that's so cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
I love how much like time and effort do you guys put into the whole idea. You weren't just like, We just chose
Yeah.
a song
We
off
like
the
this
album,
picture.
and and that's the title of the record now. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time, and it just came naturally. It wasn't something we really invented or like thought about in the beginning, it just developed. And when we really started to think about, okay, what is the truest thing we could do with music? It is to express ourselves and our personalities and our problems, something like that. And this time with this album, we just wanted to be totally honest about our personal selves, because sometimes it's hard to speak about personal problems or mental problems. It's even more powerful to speak about this and to put it into music. Why are we doing music? It's not for money or fame, not really, because we don't have any of that. It's just
Yeah.
we just have the music and put it out there to feel better as musicians, and as human beings too. So yeah, it took a while to come with that, and I hope that maybe people will get the idea and understand what it's about. When they hear the music, when they see the videos, the Overdrive video especially, where it showcases what we thought about how the Overdrive could look like for each person.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to see that some people can connect to this, and respond.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Mhm. It was different than the other albums, definitely, because with the other albums we are doing album number 4 right now with Overdrive. Before we had finished songs and we went into the studio. We did pre-production for finished songs. We choose the songs which were be chosen for the album, and then record them, like 11, 12 tracks. With that album, it was very different because we went into the studio with, let's say, 2 songs as demos and nothing more, and
Wow.
every song on the album, except maybe 1 or 2, were developed right in the studio sessions. We were very lucky to work with Andy, who's the producer of Overdrive, and he's a good friend. He's living near of our location here in Germany, and he's in a band too, in a metal band called Any Given Day. So he has a lot of experience working in the music field, producing his own band, producing other bands, writing for other bands. And so we sat down in the studio and developed these songs from scratch every time. We had just really 1, 2, maybe 3 ideas of songs, and it was different, but it was, in the end, it gave us the opportunity to reconsider many of the songs later. So when we started writing maybe track number 7 or 8, our style may slightly changed a bit, and when you reconsider the track number 1 you did in the beginning, maybe it doesn't fit anymore to the rest, because you're growing. The idea of your music is growing during the process, and so it was cool to learn a new method how to write songs and how to write an album. Before, it was just, okay, we have these 11, 12 good tracks, and we go into the studio and record them, and we're done in 1 month or 2 months. And this time it was, like we were in the studio for 2 years almost.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the negative, or the one downside to this was, it was hard to sometimes to get into the flow. When you have like 1 or 2 day studio sessions, and then you go back to normal life or doing other stuff in your life, working maybe a part-time job or something, you lose a bit of flow during the writing process. But in the end, the product itself was better than with the other method, and it was fun to do, really, and we're so lucky to have the opportunity to do that, because of course it's a bit more expensive to do that, to have a studio for like over 2 years, not the full 2 years, of course. You know, we didn't rent out that studio for 2 years. That would, I think, not even Metallica would do that. Maybe
No.
they would.
No.
But yeah, we learned and we have grown as musicians, and it was a good experience this time. And maybe next time we do it another way, but who knows?
Yeah, very cool.
All right, cool. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this album and the meaning behind it.
Oh yeah, just one. That's hard
one.
to choose.
Yeah.
I would probably say it's the lyric in the breakdown of Overdrive, the title track, where the lyrics go, "This is my prison," and it leads into the breakdown, you know, and this kind of sums up what the worst or the downside of the Overdrive is, because you feel like you're in your own prison, you know. Your mind is your prison sometimes, and it won't let you out into the free world. And yeah, that kind of sums up the last 2 years first too, you know, or the time of the pandemic too, with Corona. You know, you're stuck inside yourself, you know. You can't really go somewhere, share social the social life with someone else, with your friends and stuff. You can't go to concerts and connect to other people through music, through art, whatever, through sports. You're really inside yourself, and it can feel like a prison. And I think it's a heavy feeling, you know, if you have that. And it's even nicer that this lyric piece is before the breakdown, you know. It's like very raw. It's just spoken out perfectly, you know, with a meaning. It's not too much, you know. It's not too much over explaining. It's just it's the situation right now is a prison for me. And I think that's my favorite lyric from that album.
All right,
for sure. It's definitely relatable.
Yeah.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer? Did you shuffle around, see what fits? What was that process like?
I think with the singles coming out very early this time, we started releasing the first single in May last year. It was a bit like there was a story flow with the singles, you know. Each video we did had a kind of do you call it cliffhanger you call it that, Julie, you know. The end is going into the beginning of the next video, and we developed the idea of, okay, this song has this ending of the story, and then the next story maybe continues with that. So the first, I guess, 5 tracks with the singles were kind of set, you know. It's Overdrive, it's Savior, Earthquake, and Changes coming then later in the album, rhythm, or like album song structure. But the last song we choose on purpose because the ending is it just feels right as an album ending. It's the softest song on the album. It's Going Down, and it ends with that guitar and synth outro, you know. And that song, especially Going Down, sums a bit up, like how it feels to be in the moment of a catastrophe where everything is going down and everything is ending. It's the end of time, you know. And that just gave a good feeling for an album ending, you know. Because the listeners is sent out on an open ending there, you know. And I think, but just basically with the other songs, we have just looked at it's not repeating, you know. The tempo, the meaning of the song is in a good structure there to the other songs. And of course the opening song, Break the Silence, starts with that tom hits, you know, these boom boom, and it was just like, okay, this is the first song, the album
Yeah.
should start with that.
No
It's
brainer.
so much so much energy. It's sounding like an intro, and
Okay.
Okay, so
Very
you
cool.
kind of knew it once you heard it. You were like, okay, this is first song, this is the ending.
Yeah,
Everything else is
yeah.
just kind of it goes there.
Yeah, I think it was just me and Nico, our singer Nico, we just we're thinking about this like 20 minutes. The overall track list. It was just like,
Yeah.
okay, that's it. It has to be this way. Before
Mhm.
we had like so big discussions about which song should fit here and there, and there's a soft song, and you can't put a hard song after another hard song, and
Mhm.
which tempo it is in, and we discussed a lot about track lists in the early days, but now it just like with that album, it's just combining everything. Everything is coming perfectly together, and like you said, no brainer.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So you kind of went into it a little bit earlier, but if you want, you could go a bit more in depth. Would you be able to tell us where your headspace was at while you were creating this album?
Like again, where our headspace
Yes.
or in which
Heads.
state of mind we were.
Yes, state of mind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was very difficult when we thought about doing this album. So just brainstorming about doing this album and writing this, we had just put out Soulmate, which was an album in a more alternative rock style. We wanted to try that and always wanted to do that kind of music on one album, but we felt like it lacked a bit of energy, and it lacked a bit of rockier stuff, a bit more of it could have more tempo on the next album. We thought about that and how it should how we would play that live. Is there enough live energy on the new songs? So we were thinking about, okay, maybe we should do heavier songs on the next album. And with that said, the next few months after that, starting the writing process was very difficult, because first our main drummer, drummer Marcus left the band, who was a founding member of the band 10 years ago, because he wanted to pursue another career and wanted to have a stable life outside of the band and stuff. So getting a new drummer in who would fit the band and the vibe was not that easy, and who was also so talented. Then during the recording process, our guitarist left the band, Yoshka, and it was just Nico and me left with the original members, and we had to get another solution for that. So I switched from bass to guitar again. I was a native guitar player, so-called, and switched to bass some years ago, and we now had to rebuild our band, and still had to figure out to finish this whole album. And I think these problems set the ground for the vibe of the album, because we were kind of anxious how the future would be like, with the band too, with Corona and stuff happening. We were a bit pissed off, because some things didn't turn out in our favor. We were always a bit let down by also by labels and stuff, by the music industry, by people in the music industry. Although we were working our asses off and fighting and trying to put out good music, we were often let down. And so we were left with half of a band, half of an album and stuff, and that was okay, it's all or nothing. Let's just do it. It just gave so much energy and power to stand in front of the abyss, to say like, okay, we're finished here, we just quit, we just pay off the studio rent and all the money to the label back and stuff, and say, okay, we quit here. But that would be the easy way, and we had so much more to give, with that theme of Overdrive to tell something about us, to tell about the Overdrive thing, and to put out this music. Just felt right to continue and to fight for that once again, and it was even more easy to do that now because there was no pressure, because we knew, okay, we just do it for ourselves,
Yeah.
There's no pressure, our label can't hurt us, the people in the music industry can't hurt us, and even if nobody would listen to this album, we would still say, okay, we just did it, and we're proud what we did and how it turned out, so I think that was a turning point for us.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And how did bringing in two brand new members affect your writing process? Did they fit in like almost immediately, or were there a couple like bumps in the roads with that?
No, it just vibed. Silas, our drummer, he's way younger. He is like 21, I guess. We're all around like at the end of 20, and he's so damn good and talented. And we were so lucky that we found him, because it's just like he was born with drums, or with drums, and it was good that he was into that kind of music too, that he was more in heavy drumming and heavy music, and not into, let's say, like jazz rock or surf rock music or punk rock or whatever. So it just fit, and he wrote the drums on the album, or he just redone the drums. He polished some bits here and there, and he worked on the album for the drums, and it turned out way nicer than I ever thought.
That's good,
because that's why it's because he's so young that he does not think about music so much. We're stuck with 30. You have so many ideas and so many experiences with putting out music and writing music, that sometimes you get stuck with an idea how you should write songs. And he's just so young, and he has no clue how the music business works and stuff. He just he's just doing what he does, and so that was cool. And when Lasse, our new bass player, came in, it was very natural to us, because we knew him for years. He's a good friend of us, even though he's living like, how many, we have kilometers here, so how many miles? I think it's like 700 miles away from our location here. So every time we are practicing, he comes in here. He's flying or going by train to here. But it's working out good, because we know him for so many years. We played in bands together, or played in different bands and played shows together. So that was easy.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Sounds like you guys got the best case scenario then. I'm happy for you.
I don't know why that happened. It's just like, maybe it's fortune, or maybe it's fortune of people who just strive for that, for success. Let's say, call it success, but you just work for that, and sometimes it works out, in your favor. And we were at that moment where we even decided, okay, maybe we should go with a 3-piece band, which would be a bit weird, like Fever 333 is doing that, and they can handle that. They're 3 people who have so big aura or surrounding, they can handle a band just with 3 people, but it's not that easy to do that,
For sure.
So it was lucky that we found Lasse and that he wanted to do it. So
Hell yeah, love that. So how do you guys recommend, or how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a party album, workout album? What do you personally recommend?
If I had to choose something, I would say, first of all, it's an album that you have to listen to completely and maybe on your own, because the theme of the album is so important. And I think that if you listen to it with other people, you can't really maybe let go of stuff, and just feel what the music is about. And if it speaks to you, if the lyrics speaks to you, you may be more concerned about what others would think of you if you would feel that, if you get goosebumps. Sometimes people say, okay, maybe they are anxious to show that they feel something,
Yeah.
and that's maybe why it's better to listen to it on your own. But you said something like working out. What I experience sometimes when I listen to these songs, and I go maybe running or just going to the gym. You can really do sports to these songs. They're a bit uplifting and maybe motivating. I always wanted to have one song maybe in that Spotify playlist where it's just like gym workout.
Yeah.
It would work out pretty good. It's because it's aggressive. And sometimes you need a bit of aggression in your life. To gain some motivation to do some stuff, when you work out, or I don't know, when you're doing your laundry, or when you're cutting the trees outside, you need some aggression sometimes.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words.
Okay. I have to think about that one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
No
It's
worries.
fine.
From my side of views, or in which way I should describe that?
You're pitching
would
it to
say-
somebody.
I'm pitching it to somebody.
Mhm.
I would say it's honest,
Mhm.
it's aggressive, and it's yeah. Would you say that in English to call it's deep? Like
Yeah.
it has a deeper meaning to it,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not superficial. I think it's deep, and I hope it's speaking to people. So yeah, honest, aggressive, and deep.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Love it.
Yeah.
So in that same train of thought, but not as fast and not as much pressure, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have while going through the album?
A feeling of release, maybe of freedom, that deep feeling when you just breathe out,
Yeah.
because you did understand something in your life, maybe, that it speaks to you, and when you listen to it, that you get that click moment. You say,
Mhm.
okay, that's why I'm weird, maybe, or maybe I'm not even weird. It's just the way I am, the way I work or thinking. I'm not on my own. Many people have that, maybe because that band is singing about that problem and writing lyrics about that problem, and I'm involved in that, and I think that's a nice feeling to have, that you're not alone, that you get into a connection with other people. And it's like maybe the feeling that a burden is lifted upon your shoulders, that it's the weight is gone.
Mhm.
I think I would wish that feeling to the listeners.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Perfect.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this album?
Oof. Drinking many beers with the boys.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, or not even beers. We're gin tonic fans here.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah, maybe it's famous in the US too, but gin tonic is very famous here right now. And I don't know which moment it was the best, but there were so many good moments when we openly spoke about stuff. Like I said in the beginning, as a band, we're in this for so many hours a week. We work so many hours during the week, and like, how many years do we do that now? I know Nico, our singer, for I guess 8 years now, and I think I have met him more in my life or worked with him more than I've seen my girlfriend, and still
Yeah.
yeah, it is, and you still can't speak about certain things in your life with each other, and that is weird. Why is that? And with this album process, it became more natural to speak about your inner problems, all daily problems you have sometimes, and to open up a bit. with kind of your best friends, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I like these deep talks late in the night after recording sessions where we spoke maybe about lyrics for the next day when we're recording them, and if we could maybe give that song another idea. There's one thing I remember which was very nice. We took one song, it was Savior. We took that demo, and Nico and me were flying to Sweden, to Edinburgh, of the band Imminence. Maybe you have heard of them. Mm-hmm. Imminence is a metalcore band from Sweden. And we worked on that track together because he was featuring on it, and we wanted to have a weekend there to just work on the song. And it was just nice to see how a location switch can give that song another meaning, because in the beginning it was called differently. The main hook was I Can Be Your Angel, mm-hmm. which was very cheesy and did not get what we wanted to say, you know. It was just like a different song. And then we were flying off to Sweden, and it was like late October, I guess, starting November, and the weather in Sweden is very dark. There's no sun. It's very mm-hmm. foggy, very rainy, and you get that very depressed feeling instantly when you're there, you know. And working with Eddie, going on a walk with the dogs of him and speaking about that song, in 20 minutes we changed the idea of singing You're My Angel into I Can't Be Your Savior. You know, it really just switched the meaning of the song, and that was very nice because we learned how much the environment is important when you write a song. You know, if you're somewhere in California where the weather is good, you know, in the summer and everyone is hyped, you can't really write a depressed song, maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it's wrong, I don't know. But if you're somewhere else and it's very dark, and you get into that mood of writing a specific thing you have in your mind, I think that's important. And that I took that from the writing process.
Okay, very cool.
Perfect.
So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Again.
So you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Okay. Do you call it Reese's?
Yes.
Yes. Reese's cups.
I love them. We have them. Yeah, we have them here too in many different variations, in smaller ones like this, but the big ones too. Mm-hmm. And I love that peanut butter in there. Really.
Yeah.
I'm more American when it comes to food. Really.
Yeah. Perfect. I respect it. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be?
Oh, God damn it. A dish. Fish and chips. Very British, I know, but it would be fish and chips, I guess. It's honest, you know, it's honest food. It doesn't show you, it doesn't try to be healthy at all. It just says, okay, I'm unhealthy, just eat me, you know.
Exactly.
But, you know, and you know when you taste it, okay, you can't maybe expect to get healthier, but it helps you for a short time period to feel better because you had a good snack.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I get it.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Pizza.
Yeah,
I would go for pizza.
Nice.
I don't know. It's simple. I couldn't think about anything else on my death row because pizza. Which kind of pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Diavolo. I would pick Diavolo, something spicy, you know, with jalapenos or pepperonis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
And how you washing it down?
Thank you. I hope I get that when I'm on death row, so I'm counting on you.
And what drink are you having with it?
With alcohol? Yeah, gin tonic.
Okay.
Gin tonic?
Yeah.
All right.
I would take a gin tonic.
Okay.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, fictional. Just let me quick think about that one.
Okay.
I think since my girlfriend introduced me to the world of Harry Potter, and since many people are nerds about Harry Potter, I would pick Harry Potter. I've grown up with Harry Potter. I read like the first 3 books, but then it didn't catch me because I grew older, you know, and you outgrow that. But yeah, some years ago, had to watch all the Harry Potter movies in a row I think on a full day, or maybe in 2. I don't know.
Wow.
It was just like 7
That's
movies
commitment.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is commitment. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend loved me for that because she was such a Harry Potter nerd. But after that, after watching these movies in a full row, I did understand why so many people are nerds about that. You know, it was just like it's a full world of mystery, and it's so well thought out, everything, and it gets dark in the end. You know, it's very creepy and dark in the end. So yeah, I would choose Harry Potter.
And do you know what house you'd be in?
Again?
Do you know what house you'd be in? Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin?
Oh yeah, which house? I'm in Hogwarts. I'm a good dude, you know. I wouldn't go to Slytherin. I mean, I couldn't choose either, you know, because the hat chooses me. So
yeah, true.
It would choose Hogwarts for me, I guess.
Okay. When you say Hogwarts, do you mean Hufflepuff or Gryffindor?
I mean Gryffindor, of course.
There you go.
Yeah. Hogwarts. I always put that on the same level, you know. It's like Harry Potter is Gryffindor, is Hogwarts, you know. The other house can okay.
You're right, though. I get it.
Which house would you be in?
I'm Hufflepuff.
You would choose Slytherin? Hufflepuff? Or you?
I don't fucking know. Glory, what house would I be in?
Slytherin.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person you've spoken to have said that it is the most important question.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Oh God, black.
Ooh,
all right, I respect it.
Yeah, that is so easy. I thought about that today because someone was saying to me that she was sorting her closet by color, and I responded like, I can't really do that because I just have black in my closet, you know, just black clothes. Maybe a bit of gray, maybe a bit like this green here, but that wasn't just like black.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fair. I get that.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
I would say thank you for that nice interview. It was nice to talk to you. There were many great questions, and it felt good to speak about this. You know, we don't do that very often because I think that was our second interview with the people from the US about our music ever. So yeah, it was a nice experience, and I hope that the people out there will get what we want to tell them, get the message, and I hope many people can connect to this and feel better.
Hell yeah,
for sure.
All right. Oh well, thank you for now. This has been Jan from Breathe Atlantic, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.